go. This is my ordinary weekend. I met my friend and we went to watch Wales play rugby. I put on a daffodil in an act of patriotism, but they lost. Fuck rugby. My friend picked me up to go watch a wrestling show. I'm a daffodil in the passenger seat of my best friend's car. We go for pre-drinks first because stadium stores are extortionate money-grubbing wankers. We arrived at the wrestling show. We saw Roman Reigns, very cool. We saw Edge, even cooler. We saw Asuka, James Fangirl. Not very cool. James started to get drunk by the end of the show. We met Simon Miller, that gets an up. We then got thrown out of the underground, so we headed to the nearest pub. James took a ride on a mechanical bull. He was awful. I sang Reach for the Sky by S Club 7 on karaoke, but I'm tone deaf. James decided it was time for some karaoke. I provided the moral support by dancing with my shirt off in the background. The bouncer didn't like my moves and asked me to cover my tits after he pinched my nipples. We had some more drinks and I was starting to get really drunk. James puked behind the alley of a Five Guys. We head home and have a race to see who could down a pint the fastest. I won. James got all autistic and with the mixture of booze seemed to turn him into a feral fuckwit. He threw up on my chair and took a shit on my floor, which I stood in barefoot, so I punched him in the teeth. He cried, passed out, so I put some shit on his face. Next morning I woke up still off my tits, smoking a cigarette with a box on my head. I met with James. He was on a downer and contemplating life. The giant wheels apparently are. I ditched James to go meet my mum and went back to the pub for more drinks. The disproportionate friend joined. She danced like a midget. We ditched her friend at a Tesco Extra and went for more drinks. The live band sucked, so we went to the local fairground drunk as a skunk and hit the tracks. Even though she doesn't know how to drive, my mum beat me at the race cars. I went on the spinny things, round and round and round and round and round and round and round, and thought I was going to shit my pants. I abandoned my mum to go meet my ex-girlfriend for a quick shag, but she wouldn't even let me suck her tits. We drove past a giant drone. I met some horses and they were pretty neighbourly. Walking back, I nearly stood on what I thought was a turd, but it had eyes. I think it was a vole. It let me pick it up and I set it on its merry way. Very cute. My ex thought it would be a good idea to go eat some food in the see-through tent. It was full of bugs. I grew a beard. She played some crazy golf while I got pissed and watched. I want to shit on Annabelle's head. I changed into my funky clothes and went to an 80s theme night at the local rugby club. The barmaid was a cunt and some guy tried to finger me, so I got changed again, went to town to do some drugs and dance with some slag. Some drunk woman liked my moves and we twerked to the rhythmic beat of Everybody by the Backstreet Boys. I took some downers and did some karaoke in memory of Hangover James. Some woman said I sound like a horse giving birth, so I spit on her dress. I bumped into my mother, who at this point was more drunk than me. I threw up on myself, went home, changed, come back to the pub and did some karaoke again. Some slut joined me on stage for a duet. We sucked. I took some uppers and danced until I browned out. I had faint memories of shaving my head and putting crackers in Luke's mouth. Then I woke up on a couch in the street. I went home and had weird lucid dreams of my young self.
Run that way, Nathan. Yeah.
My body was sweating and shaking like a person with Parkinson's holding a pair of shake weights. I had a nightmare about the time I did the music video, except the music wasn't added. Something so uncomfortable about it. But I can't stop watching it. I wake up in a cold sweat covered in all sorts of bodily fluids. It's Monday and I'm back to work. I no longer know who I am and I feel like the ghost of a total stranger.
Okay, go.
For a destination.